Let's jump right into Lucent's Vi Jungle tutorial. Season 4 has brought a ton of updated items and a vastly revamped jungle. I'm going to delve into some key aspects of playing Vi effectively in your ranked and normal games. I'll cover her pros and cons, how to build correctly, and how to use her skills to their fullest. My goal in this is to make you a better Vi jungle than I am. Vi and I were destined to be together since the first time I played her. She fits my jungle needs perfectly, but she does still have her drawbacks. Let's start with the cons this time. Incorrect positioning can ruin a teamfight more than with most other champions. Your targeted ult can land you half a lane away from your team and under a turret. You are a squishy jungler. Communication, like with any jungler, can break you. Misjudging your Q distance is embarrassing, and it will happen in all elos. Incorrect positioning can kill, but correct positioning will turn the tide of a battle in your favor. Vi is a high damage jungler. Building tank to supplement your lack of tankiness is very effective. Communication, like with any jungler, can make you. Between flash, Q, and R, you can fly across lanes. Your mobility is your greatest weapon. Now that you know what she's good at, let's get into her build. There's no real consensus from Challenger tier on correct masteries, but 21-9-0 is more common than 9-21-0. I would still recommend picking each of these situationally, of course. In most cases, I would recommend 9 greater mark of armor penetration, 9 greater seal of armor, 9 greater glyph of scaling magic resist, and 3 greater quintessence of attack damage. As with any jungler, start with a hunter's machete, 5 health pots, and sweeping lens. Grab a spirit stone and some wards on your first back if you need them. Vi has a tricky endgame build and will vary from game to game. Take a look at Challenger tier builds and you'll see just how varied she is. Here's a solid new Vi player build. Spirit of the Elder Lizard, Boots of Mobility, Randuin's Omen, Banshee's Veil, Black Cleaver, and Guardian Angel. Depending on the game, substitute some of the following: Blade of the Ruined King, Triforce, Frozen Heart, Mercury's Treads, Ancient Golem, Maul of Malmortius, or a Sunfire Cape. Time to get the skills out of the way. Vi's passive Blast Shield will provide a marginal amount of protection when you hit an enemy with an ability, but it is on a cooldown. This is very helpful for those moments when all you need is 20 more HP. Volt Breaker, her Q, is one of my favorites. Charge up, smash through terrain, and knock back whoever you hit. The longer you charge, the further you go. This can hurt and is great for engaging and especially good for disrupting ults. Use this skill to move freely around, improving jungle time by bouncing off walls and escaping as necessary. It will also proc your W, Denting Blows. Denting Blows. Every third attack deals a % of maximum health, greatly reduces your target's armor, and grants you impressive attack speed. With Vi, attacking the same target is a good idea so you can use Denting Blows as often as possible. Excessive Force on E adds significant damage to your auto attack and gives it a pretty big cone range as well. You can only hold 2 charges at a time, but they recharge relatively quickly. Excess Force aids with jungle clearing, wave clearing, and AoE teamfight damage. Feel free to spam this one when you can. When engaging and ganking, be sure you have enough mana to use all of your skills. Vi is much weaker if she can't rely on them. Assault and Battery is a great little ultimate. Simply hover your mouse over who you want dead and press R. It is a targeted gap closer that is just about unstoppable, knocks aside any enemies between you and your target, knocks your target up, making them useless for over a second, while still dealing a moderate amount of damage. With Vi, you will often dive hard and deep, and hopefully you stay alive until your team arrives. When ganking, I recommend starting with your ult and then following up with the Q knockback if they try to escape. In teamfights, try to take out one of their squishy carries. Taking that much damage out of the fight for that long will give your team time to kill them and anyone else who wants to start trouble. Her skill order varies from Challenger to Challenger, even though everyone maxes her Q first. I like to start with E, then Q, then W. A lot of Challengers will max her W next, and I recommend this in most cases. Max your E last, and of course grab your R whenever you can. When ganking, remember to use Vi's high mobility to your advantage. Come in behind them over walls, from bushes, from river, or even go straight through the lane. A Randuin's Omen will help keep them closer to you. Make sure your team will follow up if you go into gank, especially if you're in your squishy early game. As Vi, feel free to give chase, except for Singed, obviously, never chase Singed. Every third strike does awesome stuff, but it doesn't need to be consecutive. If you find the opportunity, proc your W on as many enemies as you can. Most times, you are more assassin than tank, but both are necessary. If you're not sure if your tank can handle something, it probably can't. With Vi, the best defense is a good offense. They can't kill you if they're dead. Like every champion, Vi has her pros and cons, but overall, she's one of my favorite junglers. Once you get the hang of how to build her, you'll be much more effective. Use those build charts as a guide if you need to. After becoming familiar with her skills and how they work together, you'll end up carrying quite a few games. It just takes practice. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you have any comments, well, I guess leave a comment too. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out my other videos, and until next time, see you in the Rift.